I hate you. I hate everything about you. Like Jenny's looking ass. I hate you. I really do. The fuck? I really do, ho. And when I catch you, it's nothing can't nobody tell me. Everybody know what's up with me, cuz. I don't need no nothing. Ho, I'm finna fire your ass up on my kids. You're going to be thick tomorrow. I'ma shoot up every car. You better hide it. I mean it. I mean it. Ho, I got enough shots for everybody, ho. I got enough for everybody, ho. I got you. On my kids, I got you. One in the head, gonna stay in the head. I'm going to kill you. I don't give a fuck about shit, motherfucker. Trying to ho. You ugly, fat, slow ass. I couldn't wait till you cheat. Thick. I should have been cheated on you. I should have been cheated on you. Slow ass. You a slow, fat ass, Charlie Wilson looking ass nigga. I ain't never in my life seen no Willie Clay looking ass nigga like you. Stupid ass.
Some cases don't explode because of what happened in the final moment. They haunt people because of what was said before anything ever went wrong. This is one of those stories, and once you hear it, you may never look at online lives the same way again. Before we begin, quick shout out to everyone watching. If you like deep conversations about real-life cases and the human behavior behind them, make sure you like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you don't miss the next upload. You're watching She's Alive. Now let's get straight into the case. In the early hours of a January morning in Memphis, Rodriguez Poplar's life came to an abrupt end after an encounter that began in a residential driveway. According to official reports, Rodriguez and his wife were driving together when they pulled into a property that did not belong to them. What followed happened fast. A homeowner confronted them. Tension escalated. Emergency responders arrived shortly after, but Rodriguez did not survive his injuries. The man who confronted them was taken into custody, and charges followed. On the surface, it looked like a tragic situation fueled by fear, poor judgment, and a moment that spiraled beyond control. Many people stopped there. A grieving wife, a man facing court, another life added to a long list of late-night tragedies.
Why you do that? Why you do that? Why you do that, fool? Why you do that? Why you do that? Oh my God. Why you do that to me? Oh my fucking God. I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. To me. Everybody know how I feel. Why you do that to me? Why you say my husband, God? Why you do this to me? Why you kill my husband for me? Why you do that? Why? Oh my God. I can't breathe. Even though we was on bad terms and we was just getting on good terms, bro, you took my husband away from me and my face. You saw my baby. You saw my baby for. Why you do that for? Why you do that for? Why? Why? I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt. You took my husband away in front of me.
Why you do me like that, fool? Why you do me like that, fool? Why you took my husband from me? Ooh, this got to be a joke. It don't feel real. It don't feel real, y'all. Why? Why the doctors act like they were gonna say, yo? Why y'all lie to me? Y'all say y'all were gonna say, yo. Why y'all lie to me for? That ain't right. That ain't right, fool. That ain't right, fool. That ain't right. That ain't right. I can't put rest in peace in front of your nice Spanky. I know I can't do this, Spanky. Oh. Oh my God, fool. In my face. In my face, though. In my face. First you had the gun in my face, then you killed. Why? 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 I ain't fool. I'm so hurt. My husband? What? No. Oh my God. I can't breathe. My stomach hurt. In my face. In my face, like it. In my face, Mikey. In my face, Mikey. In my face. Ooh. I can't even fucking function. I wasn't even off the plane 2-3 hours. Why? Why, Spanky? You know I talk shit on this internet, but you know deep inside, you know the love we have for each other. You gonna do me like this, Spanky? I'm supposed to tell my kids. How can you bully someone in that little time? How can you call someone a bully because we pulled in the yard?
So you'd never met him before?
I never seen Applewhite a day in my life. Never seen Applewhite.
But this story did not stay quiet, because 2 weeks before Rodriguez's passing, his wife went live on social media. And that live changed everything. At the time it happened, it didn't make headlines. It didn't trend nationwide. It was just another raw live stream in a world flooded with emotional outbursts. She appeared visibly upset, angry, overwhelmed. Her words were intense, personal, and deeply emotional. She spoke with fury, repeating herself, calling names, saying things that made some viewers uncomfortable and others strangely entertained. Some people watching tried to calm her down. Some laughed it off. Some shared the live for the drama. Others warned her to log off and cool down. But like many online moments, it passed quickly. People moved on. The video lived quietly on the internet, unnoticed by most. Until 2 weeks later, when news broke that Rodriguez had passed, that old live resurfaced almost immediately. Suddenly, people weren't watching it casually anymore. They were watching it closely, replaying it, listening to every sentence differently. What once sounded like emotional venting now sounded heavier to many viewers. The anger, the repetition, the promises that things would not end well. People began asking questions they hadn't asked before. Was this just someone blowing off steam, or was it something deeper? Was it an emotional release, or was it a warning sign? And why did no one step in when it was happening in real time? As the case gained attention, Rodriguez's wife appeared in interviews. She spoke softly. She cried. She described fear, confusion, and a moment that unfolded too quickly to process. She portrayed her husband as protective, present, and loving. For many viewers, her pain felt real. And for them, that was enough. But for others, the contrast was jarring. They couldn't reconcile the woman in the interview with the woman they saw in that earlier live. The energy felt different. The tone felt different. The emotions didn't line up in their minds. And that's where the story began to split into two conversations. One side argued that people are allowed to have emotional breakdowns without being judged forever by them. That online anger doesn't define a person's entire character. That grief can soften even the hardest voices. The other side felt unsettled. They questioned whether the relationship had been as stable as it appeared afterward. They wondered if the live revealed cracks that had already formed long before that night in the driveway. Then came another layer that intensified everything. Several people claimed that Rodriguez's wife went live again on the day everything happened. Not weeks before. Not long after. That same day. This second live is where things become complicated, because unlike the earlier one, there is no widely archived video available to the public. There is no official transcript released by media outlets. What exists instead are eyewitness accounts from people who say they watched it unfold in real time. Some viewers said she appeared distressed and disoriented. Others said she was pacing, talking rapidly, jumping between emotions. A few claimed she seemed unusually calm for someone going through what she later described. Some believed she was processing shock. Others felt something was off. And without a verified recording, it's important to be careful. But perception matters. When thousands of people witness a moment, even without proof preserved, those impressions shape how a story is remembered. As word spread about this alleged second live, reactions online intensified. Supporters rushed to her defense, calling the scrutiny cruel and unnecessary. They argued that people respond to shock differently, that not everyone collapses the same way, that expecting a perfect reaction in a crisis is unrealistic and unfair. Critics, however, weren't convinced. They pointed to the timing, the emotional volatility displayed online in the weeks leading up to the incident. They asked whether the internet had been watching a private struggle unravel publicly, one live at a time. And that's when this case stopped being just about what happened that night. It became about digital footprints. It became about what it means to broadcast pain online. It became about how words, once spoken publicly, never truly disappear. Many people began revisiting the first live again, now connecting it emotionally to the outcome. Not in a legal sense, but in a psychological one. They asked whether intense, unresolved conflict can quietly shape the path to disaster, even if no one intends it to. Others pushed back strongly, warning against turning grief into suspicion. They reminded people that tragedy does not require foreshadowing to be real. That coincidences exist. That sometimes the worst moments arrive without warning. Still, one question kept resurfacing. Why do we only take warning signs seriously after something irreversible happens? When someone goes live expressing extreme emotional distress, hundreds of people watch. Friends, strangers, family members. Comments fly. Emojis flood the screen. But rarely does anyone stop the broadcast and say, "This person needs help right now." We treat lives as entertainment, even when they are cries for support. And in this case, that reality feels especially uncomfortable. Rodriguez's wife now exists in a space where every word she has ever spoken publicly is being replayed through a different lens. Not because she is accused of wrongdoing, but because the internet does not forget context, and it does not forgive timing easily. She lost her husband. That is undeniable. She also left behind digital moments that people can't stop analyzing. Both truths exist at the same time. And that's what makes this case so emotionally complex. Because grief does not erase history, and history does not cancel grief. Some viewers believe her pain is genuine, and that revisiting those lives is nothing more than cruel hindsight. Others believe those moments deserve discussion, because they reveal how unchecked emotional escalation can quietly shape lives. And maybe the real issue isn't choosing a side. Maybe the real issue is asking why so many people watched something disturbing unfold online and did nothing until it was too late. So let me ask you something. At what point do words spoken in anger become more than just words? Should online breakdowns be treated as private moments, or as signals that someone is struggling beyond what a comment section can fix? Is it fair to judge someone's grief through the lens of their past behavior, or is that how we ignore patterns that deserve attention? And how much responsibility do viewers carry when they watch someone unravel in real time and choose to keep scrolling? I want you to think about that. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe this was a tragic coincidence layered with internet speculation? Or do you think the signs were there long before that night? If you want more stories that focus on the psychology behind real-life cases, make sure you like the video, subscribe to She's Alive, and click the bell so you don't miss what we talk about next.